Day 49. 2 spiritual experiences. In all your journey as a believer, you will have 2 categories of spiritual experiences. One is tender, delightful, and loving. The other can be quite obscure, dark, dry, and desolate. God gives us this first one to gain us. He gives us the second one to purify us. First, he deals with you as if you were only a child. Then he begins to deal with you as though you were a strong man. In the first, there is a great deal of your Christian experience tied to that which you can sense outwardly. You are attracted by these nice, pleasant outward experiences. In fact, you can even become addicted to them. But the other category of Christian experience calls for a believer to no longer mind the outward senses. Rather, he must know warfare against his own passions and attain to a will that is in complete agreement and concert with the Lord. This is the proper occupation of us all. Dry spells are the instrument of God for your good. Yes, it is true in such times your 5 senses have been deprived and all outward progress of outward piety ends. Know this, in such times you are either going to leave off prayer and perhaps even a large part of your Christian walk, or you will be driven to a comfort which has nothing to do with the outward senses. There is always a veil that comes to us in relationship to times of dryness. It is a time when we do not know what he is doing. If we always knew what his workings were or are, as he works on our outward man and works in our inward man, we would become very presumptuous. We would imagine we were doing quite well if we always knew what he was doing, wouldn't we? We might even reckon that we had drawn very near to God. Such a conclusion would soon be our undoing. A dependence upon outward circumstances, everything about your spiritual understanding depending on your outward senses, all of this must go, by the way. How? By dryness. The Lord uses these arid lands, these desert places. The farmer sows in one season, and he reaps in another. God is quite like this. It is in his time that he gives you strength against temptation. Often that strength comes at a time you least think it might. What are the fruits of a believer who persists in seeking the Lord in a deeper way in such times of dryness? Should you survive such periods and humbly persevere after him, what might you expect to be the result of dry spells? Well, you will learn the gift of perseverance, which has many fruits and advantages. You will develop a weariness toward the things of this world little by little, and by slow degrees. The desires of your past life lose their strength. New ones toward your Lord arise. Your attachment to that earthly pleasure will be cut, or you will flee from that situation or from that conversation or whatever it is that is drawing you away. You will be putting aside things in your life which never previously disturbed your conscience.